Alright chess fans, settle in, because we're about to dissect a lightning-fast encounter from the link to chess.com servers. This game features two players, white and black, both rated in the 300s, which promises some exciting, quick-fire action. Let's dive into the moves. 1. e4, d5, and we kick off with 1. e4, the king's pawn opening. A classic choice aiming for central control and developing the queen's bishop. Black immediately responds with 1. d5, the Scandinavian defense. A bold move by black, challenging white's e-pawn and opening lines for their queen. Black is saying, I'm not afraid to mix it up early. 2. e5, c6. White pushes forward with 2. 5, solidifying their central pawn and gaining space. This move restricts black's f6 square and can create a strong pawn chain. Black, instead of retreating their queen, develops their knight to 2. c6, attacking the e5 pawn and putting pressure on white's center. A natural developing move. 3. f3, f6. White brings out the knight to 3. f3, a standard developing move that controls the center and prepares for castling. Black's response, 3f6, is quite an interesting and somewhat unusual choice. It directly challenges white's e5 pawn, but it also weakens the king side by opening up the f-file and creating a potential target for white's pieces. It's a double-edged sword. 4. b5, bd7. White develops their light-squared bishop to 4. b5, pinning the knight on c6 to the king. This is a common tactic, putting immediate pressure on black's king side and potentially creating some tactical opportunities. Black responds with 4. Braid 7, unpinning the knight and developing their own bishop, a sensible move to address the immediate threat. 5. fx e5, white castles kingside, with 5. getting their king to safety and bringing the rook into the game. A very important move for kingside security. Black decides to capture on e5 with 5. fx e5. This opens the f-file for black's rook, but it also removes the pawn from f6, which was protecting g5. This could be a critical decision. 6. c3 e4. White develops another knight to 6. c3, bringing more pieces into the center and putting pressure on black's d5 pawn. Black pushes their e-pawn forward to 6 e4. This move gains tempo by attacking white's knight, but it also leaves the d5 pawn undefended. Black is looking for a quick attack. White's knight jumps to 7. g5, eyeing the f7 square and putting pressure on black's kingside. This is a very aggressive move, typical of these fast-paced games. Black tries to kick the knight away with 7. h6, a natural response, but it also further weakens the kingside. Black needs to be careful. 8. qh5 plus g6, and here comes the queen. White's queen swoops in with 8. q5 plus, delivering a check. This is a devastating move, attacking black's king and preparing for further attacks. Black is forced to block the check with 8. g6. This move blocks the check, but it also exposes the g-pawn and creates a weakness on the dark squares around the king. 9. q xg 6 hash, and just like that, it's all over. White's queen captures on g6 with 9. qx g6 hash, delivering a beautiful checkmate. Black's king has no escape squares, and the game concludes in a mere 9 moves. A truly spectacular finish. Final thoughts. What a whirlwind. This game was a fantastic example of aggressive opening play and quick tactical finishes. White capitalized on black's kingside weaknesses, especially after black's 3f6 and 7h6, and delivered a swift checkmate. Black's opening was a bit too ambitious, and the kingside pawns became a liability. A great demonstration of how quickly a game can turn in a sharp, attacking line. And with that, white secures a dominant victory by checkmate.